Okay, I think now you can listen to me. Again, welcome everyone to this live streaming. We are so glad to have you again from all over the world. Every Thursday, we are listening to stories from all over the world. We're choosing people to share their wisdom with us. How, for example, today we are hosting Lauren, and she's going to share her wisdom on how to overcome your own trauma and how this might be helping you as well to overcome your trauma in a way that makes you different. So I would like to ask everyone just to let us know where are you watching us from. Just type down in the comment. We are going to take question from you to Lauren by the end of the session, so you can write them anytime in the comment while you are listening to the story. And at the same time, I'm going to introduce Lauren briefly because we're going to listen from her how she look at herself and how she introduced herself. So briefly, I would like to say that Lauren, she's a transformational facilitator and the founder of the international lifestyle and wellness brand Samavera, and her vision is to help people to unlock their greatness and to disrupt their vision of being a normal person, because she believes that people are beyond this normal thing that maybe our life, our society that might put us in this mold and living in it by this. So there's a lot to say about Lauren, but we will listen from her shortly, and yeah, let her actually introduce herself. So the first question, welcome Lauren, thank you for joining us in this. And I would like first to thank you for taking part of this program, and at the same time to share your own story, to share your own tips with everyone here in this live streaming. So the first question that I usually ask my guests is, how do you introduce Lauren as a human being and as a professional level?
Thank you so much, Nisreen, and thank you so much for the invite and having me here today. It's such a pleasure, it's such an honor. How would I introduce myself as a human being? Well, yeah, my name is Lauren. I'm 30 years old from the Netherlands, and I am a traveler. I'm a digital nomad. I love chasing the sun around the globe, and I love exploring all parts of life and this planet. From a professional point of view, I went from being a project manager to being a team lead, and now I'm the founder of my own organization and brand, Samavera, as you mentioned before. And I'm literally spending day and night establishing this and building this because it's the mission and the vision of my life. Yeah.
Super amazing. So I would say, for example, like I always go back to the stories from childhood, and I believe somehow, like if we chose, we take the good parts out of our experience as a childhood. So, and at the same time, some people maybe they shape their own life according to something related to their childhood. So for you, how was your childhood? How did it affect your own path at this time, like in the here and now?
I would say I did not have the easiest childhood. I wasn't feeling and doing so well due to various different reasons. A few different things that happened to me as well. And back in the day, I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't manage it. And it made me, it led me into depression just because I didn't know how to handle it. Mm-hmm. Looking back, seeing where I am now compared to where I used to be, I do not recognize myself anymore, literally. Even my parents, my friends, they say the same. I'm a different person, which is amazing because that means if I can do this, so can anyone, because there's nothing special with me. So when I look at my childhood, it was tough, definitely, but it taught me so much, and I've learned and grown so much since. So I really developed the mindset that, it's cliche, but I believe it's true. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, first of all, if you're willing and open to it. And the fact that we grow through adversity, we grow through resistance. We don't grow through fun and pleasure in life. It's great, definitely, and I love that too. But it doesn't help us to grow.
That's super amazing.
Yeah,
you know, like listening to you when you were talking about looking at yourself when you were in the childhood, and now you can barely recognize yourself and also people around you. So that means two things. You can always choose the life that you would like to to have. Of course, like nothing in your past can define what you are in this future unless you want it to define you. So it depends on you. So you somehow show that you can reshape your own life. You can choose the life that you would like to have, and you can change your mindset in order to really like have this life that you are looking for. So this is a very good thing because
Exactly.
you shared something also very nice in between, but I like always to highlight it because you said somehow you can always overcome whatever like going through your own life. Like it doesn't mean that, yeah, what doesn't what is like killing you, it will make you if it doesn't kill you, it will make you stronger. So
Mm,
it doesn't mean if we are going through any difficult situation in our life, it's going that means that this is the end, this is the end of our own life. So I know that in your 20s you have been going through a very tough situation, and this is somehow was a turning point. I would like
mm.
also to listen from you about this situation, and at the same time, I would like you to highlight what kind of emotion, what kind of thoughts that was running inside of your head at that time after you have gone through this like trauma, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. As I mentioned, a few different things happened, but this is definitely one of the bigger ones because late when I was 19, actually, I was raped, which definitely was, yeah, I don't even have the words for it. It was a traumatic situation. And at first, what it did to me was it made me feel like something was wrong with me, like things were happening to me. And why? Why? What did I do wrong? Why did I
Mm-hmm.
deserve this? And it made me
Mm-hmm.
feel like I have no control over anything that happens, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm a victim, and we have no control over our own lives, which made
Mm-hmm.
me feel very demotivated to
Mm-hmm.
make something of my life, if you get what
Mm-hmm.
I mean. And I think many people, even if you haven't been through such a specific traumatic situation, rough periods in life can make you feel very much the same. So what I'm saying here is not just relating to trauma in specific, but to any type of very difficult situation people can find themselves in, right? And I really actually kept myself and put myself in this victim mode,
Mm-hmm.
wondering what I need to change about myself to not attract such situations anymore. I
Mm-hmm.
felt very, very sad, very depressed, very, yeah, I didn't have the joy, I didn't have the wish to live anymore at some
Mm-hmm.
point even. But yeah, like we talked about already before, that definitely turned around, and I was the complete opposite of it. But back in the day, it took me a long while to accept what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, where it all starts, acceptance. But I think we'll go into that in a moment, in a bit more detail.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said something that somehow at that time you chose like somehow to be like kind of like not choosing, but I would say you were somehow trying to be like the victim, victimizing yourself. It is not easy, and I would like first to thank you for being yeah, strong enough to share this at this time. It's not easy, and I believe that maybe so many girls like has gone through such a situation, and it's not really easy to talk about it. But yeah, of course there was like a lesson to learn
Mm.
out of this, and I believe that somehow you didn't stuck and you didn't like remain in that victimhood mindset in at that time of. But I believe like when you're going through such a difficult situation, it's totally okay to question why me, why, what I'm doing wrong that I deserve something like this, and all those like inner dialogue. I'm sure not only in such a situation, but as you said, in any difficult situation, in any trauma, those like questioning this, those questions, those inner dialogue might coming inside of our head and keep us like just doing what is happening and what can I do. But you were very strong enough to take the lead because you stopped and you took the responsibility for your own life, and you decided to change. Of course, like we cannot go back in time and change something, but at least we can change the perspective or looking at the situation in a different way. So can you share with us how you were able really to overcome this situation in your life in a very like early age, I would say?
Yeah, it was very early on for sure. Yeah, it don't get me wrong, it took a while, definitely. And what I'm sharing here, of course, this is a condensed, like a summary of it, but it took a while. Yeah, like I just mentioned already, I believe it first starts with acceptance. Accepting that something like this happened, then accepting that it's making you feel and making you think the things that you feel and think, because those thoughts, emotions are definitely not pleasurable, as I can say. And after that acceptance, from that place, you can actually start doing something with it, basically working with it and turning it around and turning your pain into your strength, as I like to say. Because as you rightly pointed out before, indeed as well, in the end, you always have a decision. And again, don't get me the wrong way, it took a while, but at some point there's this turning point that you reach and that everyone reaches, and there you're standing on a crossroads, coming where you came from, very painful. And then you have a decision. What do I want to do with this? It happened. I cannot change it anymore. So what now? And at that crossroads, at that turning point, I believe it all comes down to the mindset that you manage to develop on the way. So, for example, the mindsets that helped me get through this and the beliefs that helped me get through this is that, first of all, nothing's wrong with me. Things happen all the time. That's what life is about. Life is about growing. How do you grow? Through adversity, right? And that's what happened.
True.
And second, the realization and acceptance that I don't have to go through this alone. It's okay to ask for help. And if people offer help, then by all means accept it, because it's very difficult to go through trauma and to go through rough periods in life alone. But you don't have to. A lot of us believe we do.
Yeah.
For some reason, I can't even explain it still, but we don't. And also, we're not alone. There's many people who've experienced the same or similar situations, and they can understand what it is and what it feels like and what it does to you. So what actually helped me at that crossroads is the decision, okay, I am done letting this affect my life. So what do I do now? I'm asking for help. So I went to my friends, and I also asked for professional help in the end too. And in the end, working on it, it's hard work, definitely, but working through it helped me overcome it and helped me then also start helping others getting through it. And I think that's the most beautiful thing that can come out of trauma and difficult situations, being able to then start helping others and serving others who are going through something similar. And the feeling that gives you, the fact that you can be such a support to someone else, there's nothing else in this world, I believe. This is like such a profound feeling of purpose. I started believing that that's in the end what it's all about. It's a very powerful feeling to have.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, like, I just would like to highlight some of what you have shared. That it is okay that it takes a long time, because of course, like, we have to give enough time to heal ourselves. We have to give ourselves the time to release all those emotions, because it's not easy just to hold on this and not like, I would say, cry over this or scream or being angry. It is totally okay to express our emotion, because somehow when you say accept, I'm not sure if everyone can understand it. Like, accepting that doesn't mean that I totally accept the act of the things that made the trauma, but I'm accepting that this has happened and I have to do something. I don't have like to just allow myself to be stuck all the time just because of this something that happened to me. Of course, it's not easy, but yeah, you said you can ask for help. If you feel like you cannot manage it by yourself, it is okay to ask for help from the professional in order to really like overcome it in a way that you can really like take it out somehow, take the effect out from the inside, like to hear yourself from the inside. And of course there will be something on you that you have to do as a person. Yeah, of course, maybe you will ask for the help, you will seek for the help, but there will be also always something to do by yourself, because I think the inner dialogue inside of your head How did you feel that it changed, like the inner dialogue after like you shared some part of it, but let's just highlight it one more time.
Mm.
What was the inner dialogue inside of your head when you like overcome this situation?
Yeah, that's a good question. The inner dialogue went from being, this is happening to me, I'm a victim here, something wrong with me. That was a strong one for me as well. I made a mistake, that one too.
Mm-hmm.
And it developed into, I'm normal, there's nothing wrong with me,
Mm-hmm.
things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the acceptance that things happen in life, yes, and sometimes very painful, sometimes a bit less, but still, things happen. And then mainly the mindset that I developed, that in the end, we can turn this into strength.
So
We can
instead
turn
of
pain into strength.
yeah, sorry, yeah, continue.
No, I was done.
Yeah, so it's like from blaming, you were so compassionate with yourself. Like instead of
Yeah,
blaming yourself,
exactly.
you become more compassionate with yourself. And on the way,
Exactly.
somehow, there's always a good fruit, I would say, out of the trauma, because somehow you found a passion to help the people. And
Mm.
somehow, yeah, you find the passion to help the people who has going through such a situation, or to help them in general. So what I want to ask is how meditation entered your own life, and how did it change? How did it help in such a situation?
Yeah. I came across meditation already before this happened, but I never had a steady practice with it. I fell
Mm-hmm.
in and out of it, and one week I was like every single day, and the other month, the next month I was like not at all. And then immediately after this happened, I also didn't get back to my meditation practice because for a while I just couldn't do anything. And as you rightly pointed out before, thank you for that addition. It's okay. It's okay to really feel really bad for a while and to have all these emotions, and make sure you have an outlet for them, no matter what it is, really. It can be many different things for many different people. However, eventually, meditation crossed my path again, and I got back to my own practice, and I made it a more regular one. And it's actually one of the keys that eventually helped me to sustainably get out of the, whatever you want to call it, the funk, the victim state, or the depression that I was in. It eventually helped me to come out of it and stay out of it mostly.
Yeah.
And once I made it a more regular practice, I used it as one of my self-care methods, basically, because I believe coming out of a traumatic or even difficult situation in life, it's all about the self-care that you have. And even you may not feel like it at all. I can definitely relate, but it's the most important thing. And if you cannot do it by yourself, ask help and have people keep you accountable. You got to take care of yourself. You got to be, as you mentioned, compassionate with yourself. Big one, important one. But also keep taking proper care of yourself, because that's eventually what's going to help you get out of it. And meditation is one of such keys. I believe it was for me, definitely, and I believe it can be for many people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's thank you so much. I would say again that you are like a very strong woman that's really like was overcoming coming such a situation, and at the same time you're sharing this, but also having the will to help the other. This is something really like honorable, and I really appreciate it, and I believe that so many people maybe might need this help in such a situation or in any difficult situation, because sometimes people might not really have the courage to deal with themselves, to deal with the inner dialogue that they have it inside, and sometimes they might end their own life because of what was happening with them. So having this courage to like reach to the point where now you are creating your own work, you are creating your own ability to overcome whatever is going like whatever is going through your own life. You manage to really have a very strong I would say base to start something new. So
Yeah.
I would like to ask more about like how does it feel when you started to help people. I'm sure it's definitely something that is really like amazing and good. So how does it feel for you?
Yeah, as we briefly touched on before, indeed, this is the one thing that makes me feel like it was worth it. And I can definitely understand how that sounds very strange to people listening this right now. But because of me going through that, I can understand what it's like, which means I can fully, authentically serve and support others with it. If I wouldn't have been through such a thing myself, I wouldn't have been able to relate enough to help others. And when it comes to coaching, when it comes to mental support, it doesn't even matter. You can only fully understand if you have lived through it and gone through it. And because of that, it went from such depression to such fulfillment. It's again, it may be very strange to hear me say this, but these two concepts lie on the same spectrum, if you get what I mean. And you can go from one extreme of the spectrum all the way towards the other extreme if you allow it to develop like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was powerful. Yeah, and it's very humbling as well, if you get what I mean. It's even difficult to put into words, to be honest.
That's true. Thank you so much. So, like, looking at Lauren now, the Lauren in the here and now, and Lauren in that difficult situation, what is the difference now? Can you just define it? What is the difference between Lauren that time and Lauren this time, now, the here and now?
Yeah, nice question. I like it. I think the main difference is indeed before I thought, and I believe that things happen to you and you have nothing to do, nothing to say. We're powerless. I really believe that at some point and for a while. And that developed into me believing that we can create our own life and things will keep happening. I'm not saying that the bad things or negative things or the difficult things will stop. However, once you manage to create a different outlook, a different mindset, a different inner dialogue for yourself, it feels different. It doesn't hurt you as deeply anymore. And again, meditation actually helped me with that a lot as well, because through meditation, amongst other things, I managed to reconnect to that strength that all of us have inside of us, but many of us don't remember or don't know, or like we don't remind ourselves of it often enough. But once I managed to reconnect with that inner strength, I felt so much more empowered and so much more strong than I had ever felt before. And whenever such types of things happen, it just doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
It's experience that you build, literally, just like creating a new habit, like training yourself in a new habit.
True.
It becomes easier and easier to also deal with adversity and difficulties in life. It really does. So the big change is from feeling powerless to feeling empowered and feeling like I have a choice. I can decide what I do with what happens. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, the idea of having the choice is very powerful because, like, it does mean a lot when you have a choice in your own life. This is very important. Like, it will make you feel more comfortable and that you have the charge and the responsibility for your own life. That is super amazing and powerful. So, at the same time, if you go back in time, would you like choose to change something in your life, or you choose to have the same situation? And living the same experience, and you choose nothing to change, or you prefer to change something?
That's an unfair question. No, I'm kidding. Again, this does sound cliche, and at first I was like, oh my god, everyone says that. How can they say that? But I do now also believe that's true. I wouldn't change anything because it has made me who I am, and I'm very happy and also proud of myself for who I have become, and I did because of that.
Yeah.
However, I did make sure that I would learn from it, so I could actually almost like gain something from it, that I wouldn't. In general, let's say learning from your mistakes, learning from failures, learning from things that happen in life, so that you can actually grow and you can actually use it for any future situations that you may end up in. Okay. So I wouldn't change anything, but I do always make sure that I learn all that I can to be able to manage a situation even better in future. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the same time, like, I was thinking about So I was thinking about something that is like, for example, If because I have a question from one of the audience here, so I would like also to ask, yeah, about it. So, what is the easiest first step that you recommend to anyone who feels like a victim?
I think first, of course, also depending on why you feel like that, if something specific happened or if that's a more general state, I would say number one is always to look for direct outlets that you can create for yourself. And this is different for everyone, but there's a few general ones that work for many people, which is, for example, talking to friends, seeking social support, or journaling, or working out, or yoga, meditation. So first, to really let it out, literally, the state that you're in, to try and release it a little bit. Because once there's less of that pressure of feeling such a way, there's more space to do something with it. So first it's about creating space, releasing part of it, so that there's space to proactively do something with it. So I would say step one is finding your outlets or creating your outlets. And then step number two is asking for help. I would really say it's asking for help. And with help, I mean, sometimes it's friends who can actually support you in this. And sometimes it's professional help who can actually, a therapist or a coach who can help you turn your mindset around. So it can help you turn your life around in the end. Because in the end, it all comes down to your mindset and your beliefs about life and what life does and is about.
So
that's what I would say.
What kind of inner dialogue that you recommend them to like tell themselves, or to, I would say, like, what kind of inner dialogue that you recommend for them to start with, at least until they seek the right the right connection or the right advice?
Okay, yeah, I think the inner dialogue to help with the belief that I'm a victim and things happen to me is the opposite of it, starting to believe that things happen for you, because as we talked about before, through difficulty we grow. We go through difficult situations. When everything is going well, it's fun, and life can definitely be a lot of fun. However, it doesn't really help us grow to something and to start fulfilling our life's responsibilities, I would almost say. So I think the mindset to develop there, the inner dialogue to create for yourself, is that you have the power to make your own decisions, and you have much more inner strength within you than you may believe that you have. And things happen for you, meaning you can do something great with it in the end. You can turn it around, literally, and go from feeling victimized, feeling disempowered, to re-empowering yourself. It is possible. If I can do it, everyone can do it. Because like I said in the beginning, there's nothing special with me in that regard at all. So yeah, I really hope that...
so you kind of so you kind of like, you make yourself as a special person. It's not like, it doesn't have to be like you born with this ability to be a special person. You can actually be that special person without the need of someone to tell you that you are. You can create your own greatness in this regard.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you for helping me put it into words.
Yeah, so that is really important, and I really appreciate, like, what I have noticed going through the whole process of having people from all over the world, and when I ask them this question about how does it feel when you how does it feel actually when if you choose to go back in time, do you choose to change something, or you choose to live the experience again as it is? No one chooses to change something. They always choose to change the perspective, maybe to have less time dealing with it, or to change the perspective in general, but they don't choose to change anything, because this is actually what makes them feel different. This is what makes their own experience different. So I really like this concept, because you know why? Because people from different parts of the world, they always choose the same thing. They always choose the same choice, I would say. So they always choose the same choice without really choosing that they want, for example, to delete any of the experiences, because this is what make them the person they are right here and right now. So this is
That's
really super amazing.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, like
And it's
yeah,
good that you're highlighting this again, because maybe I will just add to that in the moment, it doesn't feel like that at all.
of
In the
course,
moment, you're like, I wish this never had happened.
of
But
course.
afterwards, looking back, and thanks for pointing that out, I didn't know. And this shows me again that it's it's very similar for many people.
True.
So if all of us, all of the attendees that you hosted here on these interviews, if everyone went for the same option, it means that this is apparently the route, and that others who may be in something right now and who wish that this never happened because it's painful and it's difficult,
Yeah.
later on trust that one day you'll be able to look back and somehow in a funny, strange way almost be okay with it, be grateful for the experience, perhaps even.
True. You will
So
be like,
this can trust that
yeah.
one day it will feel different.
Of course, this is very nice, the way how you address it, because yeah, for those who's going through a difficult situation now, and they talking to themselves and they say, okay, I wish this will never happen to me. I'm telling you, and as you highlighted it, Lauren, thank you so much. I'm telling you that we have been hosting now, like so far, 6 people from different continent, from different background, from different culture, like from different, I would say, religion, from different everything, I would say. Everyone chose when they answered this question about, do you like or do you wish to change something that ever happened to you, even it was very painful. Like I wouldn't see that anyone was going through a very like simple light situation. It was a very difficult situation, and they all chose to live the same experience, because this is what made them the person they are in this right moment, here and now. And this is something that you can rely on, that this too shall pass. Nothing will remain the same. You will learn out of it, and one day you will be grateful and thankful for this situation. So yeah.
Exactly.
And I had a session with Lauren. There was like a workshop from the Stress Free Summer Festival, and I really enjoyed it with the tips that you shared with us. So here we come to the tips. I'm sure like people looking forward to have some tips. What kind of advice or tips that you recommend for people in general, something that they can start with if they feel lost, if they feel like they are not feeling comfortable with whatever they are going through, they are having difficulty in taking a decision whatsoever. I would say, like, what is the main thing that you love in your life, that the tips that you use in general, that you can hand it for them so they can start with doing something to improve themselves in general in life?
Yeah, good question. And to make it very concrete as well. From my perspective and my experience so far, I would say, number one, find that outlet for yourself. Think of the things that used to make you feel good in the past, even if you don't, even if it's difficult to remember now, or even if you cannot almost remember. Think back about what you used to do that made you feel good. Is it going to do workout? Is it hanging out with friends? And even if you don't feel like doing them right now, do them. Very important, because that will help you to not sink even more deeply into the funk that you may be in. So number one is outlets. Meditation, yoga, gym, friends, watching a great movie, doesn't matter, as long as you do something for self-care. To keep yourself here in the now, so you don't get stuck in your mind, stuck in your head, your thoughts, your emotions. Then step number one, I would say, is acceptance. Accepting that that happened, and accepting that you're feeling the way you feel and you're thinking the thoughts that you're thinking. So like that acceptance of what happened, and acceptance how you're doing and how you're managing through it. And then I would say third, hopefully after number one and two, there's enough space for number three to ask for help. To be ready to receive support, because we need to be ready for it, right? A counselor, a friend, a therapist, a coach, they can tell you many things, but if you're still so in it, it can be hard to even do something with what you're being told, right? So number three, searching or accepting help, because hopefully there's already people around you who are offering, but it's up to you to accept. And that's an active decision to take. So for help from friends or even professional help, of course, depending on what happened and what it did with you. And then I think number 4, the mindset and the inner dialogue we've been mentioning throughout this interview. And I think that the 4 keys that I would like to give you regarding mindset would be that number 1, there's nothing wrong with you. You didn't do anything wrong. Number 2, you don't have to do this alone. Mm-hmm. It's okay to tell people, I am not okay, I need you, I need help. And then tell them what you need so they can actually help you the way you need to be helped, right? Mm-hmm. Number 3, again, as I mentioned, this one came to me mostly through my meditation practice. Mm-hmm. You're stronger than you think you are. There's so much inner strength within us, but many of us forgot, many of us don't reconnect with it anymore. But again, one day you'll look back and think, whoa, you'll be surprised with how much you grew and how far you've come. Mm-hmm. And the person it turned you into, the person you yourself created, mm-hmm. and be proud of that. Yeah, I think this would be the advice that
thank you so much. I would... Thank you so much. That's really amazing, because I really like the part of and you kind of like highlighting and keep mentioning it, like seek the help, of course, for me as a person, maybe I used to take the responsibility of whatever happened with me or whatever I'm doing, and I take the whole responsibility on me. Yeah, of course, part of it is blaming myself and all those stuff, but it will take you a lot of time, a lot of effort if you're not seeking the help from the professional people who can really make it easier for you. You don't have to go through this by yourself and to discover your own way, because maybe when you ask for the help, you will find people who can help you much faster, because they know, maybe they have gone through this. And that's why, if anyone and I believe, for example, in my region maybe, and everywhere, I would say this is how it could happen everywhere, not only in my region or anywhere else in the world, but this could happen to any person. So you can always seek the help from people who can really help you very fast. And I would really recommend, because now we have the online coaching through the website of World Peace Initiative, www.peacerevolution.net. We have the one-to-one coaching. You can reach out to Lauren to have a session with her, a one-to-one coaching. If you would like, not only in the same topic, but you can also ask for any topic in your life. If you would like to have any advice from her, from a professional a person and someone who would really give you the help, I believe that you will be in a very good hand. So do not hesitate actually to approach. And at the same time, of course, I would say and not only me, but also people in the comment highlighting the word, you are stronger than you think you are. And that is so true. So believe in your ability, believe that you can do it, and believe that you can overcome it. But believe that you are not the only person who's going through a difficult situation, but there is million of people who's going through a difficult situation, and they always find the way. They always seek the help, and you also can do the same. So let's see some of the comments. There's a very nice encouraging comments. People are telling you, thank you for being so open and sharing your story like this with us. This is from Katrina from Ukraine, and from Jordan. They like the session as well, and they agree on the tips that you have shared. And Salwa, she said, love you both, and this is so motivational to give her a push for the day. So this is maybe a simple something that people can feel uplifted and motivated. And I believe that this is something you can always do it for yourself and for the others. Thank you, Lauren, so much for being with us, for sharing your own story. If you would like to share something by the end of the session, if you would like to say something or inform the audience with anything, the stage is yours. You can share it.
I really hope the tips, the advice helped, and that you enjoyed this interview, and feel free to also just reach out to be able to talk to someone If you have any questions, feel free. I'm here. You know where to find me. I believe I'm tagged on Facebook here. So, and yes, Peace Revolution does amazing work. If you're looking into starting meditation practice, for example, they have online courses that you can take, online sessions. I'm not the only one. We also have meditation coaches if there's anyone you'd like to talk to about anything. And we also have a retreat coming up at the end of September. It's also a meditation retreat, and I will be facilitating one of the workshops alongside with a few of my colleagues. And we will have our monk, John, from Thailand. He's a Buddhist monk, who will guide a few workshops and meditations as well. So if you'd like to practice your meditation with us and go through workshops to also deal with stress, deal with burnout, and take back power, take back control, then feel free to reach out as well. We can give you more information that you can read up on. And yeah, just saying we're here. If there's anyone you'd like to talk to, reach out and believe in yourself, believe in the power that you have within you. I'm speaking from experience. If I can do it, so can you.
Yeah,
Really.
of course. Thank you so much. Again, you are a very strong and like inspiring person that I really enjoyed the session with you, the interview with you. Looking forward also to hear from like other people from all over the world and to see the wisdom from different people in the whole world. Thank you so much again. And I would like also to remind the people if they would like to start their self-development journey, they can start with the self-development program in Peace Revolution website, where you have 42 days of learning meditation and reflecting on your own self with so many parts in your life, your friends, your family, yourself, your relationship, your community. And at the same time, you will find a peace coach with you, actually supporting you and helping you to go through this whole process. Yeah, so thank you so much for being here with us, and thank you so much for joining us, and for all of your comments, and for all the love from everyone who's sharing it. Thank you, Noor. Thank you, everyone. And see you next Thursday. We will announce about the next session, with whom, from which part of the world. Thank you so much, and have a nice day, evening, morning, wherever you are watching us from. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.